So despite his COVID, Scott Morrison marches on at work. Today he was delivering that speech to the Lowy Institute, announcing a new East Coast submarine base in one of three possible locations: Newcastle, Brisbane or Port Kembla.
Today, I can announce the government has decided to establish a future submarine base on the east coast of Australia as well, to support basing and disposition of the future nuclear-powered submarines. This is about additional national capacity, not relocating any existing or planned future capacity for Fleet Base West. Fleet Base West will remain home to our current and future submarines, given its strategic importance on the Indian Ocean. His decision to establish an East Coast submarine base has been many years in the making as part of the transition from Collins. However, the government has now determined that to support our decision to acquire nuclear-powered submarines, establishing a second submarine base on our East Coast will enhance our strategic deterrent capability with significant advantages in operational, training, personnel and industrial terms. An optimal East Coast base would provide home-ported submarines with specialised wharves, maintenance facilities, administrative and logistic support, personal amenities and suitable accommodation for submarine crews and support staff, including those visiting. It would also enable those visiting of US and UK nuclear-powered submarines. Following significant work by Defence, reviewing 19 potential sites, 3 preferred locations on the East Coast have now been identified. They are Brisbane, Newcastle and Port Kembla.
So Defence Minister Peter Dutton indicated yesterday a pre-election announcement, or at least an announcement in a couple of months, about what Australia will be doing before we acquire nuclear submarines in 2040. He said it would not involve more Collins-class subs. He has previously told Sky News attempts will be made to lease a British or American nuclear sub in the meantime. My belief is this stopgap situation, if you like, will involve US or British submarines basing themselves in Australia. Well, we had Scott Morrison contradicting the Defence Minister today, a day after his comments in terms of the timing of that announcement, which I think will be about basing, and saying there won't be an announcement before the election.
No, we don't anticipate that decision will be made before the election. We don't, and no one should expect it to. It won't be done in that time frame, and as Ben rightly points out, that would involve a whole other process, particularly during a caretaker period leading up to the election.
The arrangement that's underway at the moment between the US, the UK and us has been incredibly productive. We'll have an announcement within the next couple of months about which boat we're going with.
When it comes to this Morrison submarine base announcement today, Labor has come off the line on the national security bipartisanship here. You've had Jim Chalmers and then Anthony Albanese coming out saying this could be another announcement without substance.
They talk a lot about defence expenditure in absence of the actual production of defence materiel. You can't actually defend the country with a media release. You need to defend the country with defence equipment and with skills.
Can't defend the country with a media release. Well, here's another media release which echoes Albanese's comments from the Shadow Defence Minister Brendan O'Connor, which said Scott Morrison has today taken a leaf out of his marketing playbook by making an announcement about a decision that will be made in 2023 and won't actually be feasible for more than a decade after that. The Prime Minister also spoke in his speech about the fact that he says Russia's behaviour towards Ukraine is a sign of what China might do, and he coined the phrase the arc of autocracy.
This war of choice by Mr Putin is a reminder that although Australia's focus is the Indo-Pacific, events elsewhere can affect our regional security. The Indo-Pacific remains at the centre of global geostrategic competition. Australia is an Indo-Pacific nation. Threats in our region are proliferating from both state and non-state actors. Militarisation is expanding and evolving rapidly. The challenge from more surreptitious malign activities, espionage, disinformation, cyber attacks, foreign interference and economic coercion, it's mounting daily. We're seeing increasing resort in our region to grey area tactics, where the boundary between legitimate and hostile activity is deliberately blurred. And the rise of so-called hybrid warfare, that has stripped away the old boundaries that once separated the realms of defence, foreign policy, trade and investment, communications and other areas reaching deep into our domestic security. Australia seeks to work with all countries to ensure a peaceful, stable and prosperous region. However, we're not naive, and nor can we be.
So Opposition Leader Anthony Albanese gets his national security response at the Lowy Institute on Thursday, Kieran.
Andrew, thank you. We'll talk to you later in the program.